In this video, we shall be looking at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S, the 10.5-inch Android tablet. This video is the continuation of the previous unboxing video that we did for the Galaxy Tab S. Now that we have spent some time with the tablet, we shall be looking at the pros and cons and the quality factors of the tablet. So first thing first, I'll talk about the official Samsung accessories, beginning with the book cover, which utilizes the attachment mechanism that is present on the tablet. The cover itself feels fairly premium. They've made it quite nicely. With regards to feel factor, it feels almost like leather, but unfortunately it's made of synthetic material. Having said that, it does not distract from the premium feel factor of the tablet itself, and the little gold accent here and there and few other features add to the premium feel. The magnetic folding flap allows the cover to position the tablet in a few different angles. Functionally, sometimes I've seen the cover detaching from the tablet a bit too easily than we'd like it to. That's not a major issue, and that's something we can overlook, no problems. In future, I hope Samsung would step up to the challenge as far as covers are concerned to the Apple's original leather cases for the iPad Air. Previously, when we looked at the Apple's leather case, the fit and finish was much superior to what we have in our hand now, whilst the price of the two are very comparable. The next accessory justly deserves mentioning. Generally, the included earbuds we do not think about twice. Not in this case. Samsung has actually put in some effort here. Although not visible on the surface, the earbuds are not that bad. I'm not saying that they are out of the world great, but those who want anything superior needs to do some serious research, and in my opinion, one needs to spend at least about $60 to surpass these. And those who do not care about that level of amazingness being poured into their ears, these earbuds will do just fine. So it's time to look at the physical attributes of the tablet itself. The first thing we may notice is this bronze border around this tablet. It adds so much character to the tablet. Not only does it feel good, but also makes it feel very sturdy, rigid, and definitely premium. Beyond this, there is another functional purpose for this bronze border, and that is it is slightly beveled upwards, which allows the grip to be a little bit improved. Visually, this is not very apparent, but if you touch the border, you definitely feel it. The home button also has a gold border around it, and all these little details really add up. So let's take a look around the tablet, see what it has. On the right hand side, we have the micro USB connector, and then the slot for micro SD, and a speaker grill. At the bottom edge, there is a little hole for the mic. On the left hand side, we have another speaker grill and the headphone port. And finally, at the top edge, we have the power button, the volume buttons, and in the center we have a infrared emitter, which they call the IR blaster. It won't really blast anything. You can control your TV and set-top box, etc. with it, but not shoot out any laser or anything like that. At the front, we have this standard Android layout, which consists of the home button, which also doubles as a fingerprint reader, a back button, and a multitasking button, or rather their touch sensitive areas. At the top, we have the Samsung logo, a front facing camera, and the light sensor. At the back, we have the camera and the flash, and the surface is this dotted matte plastic surface, which sort of resembles the current Samsung mobile devices. All in all, the construction and the feel factor is in line with what we should expect out of a top-of-the-line premium tablet. Our next subject of discussion is the screen, which is measured at 10.5 inches. However, the one thing I'm going to mention about this is that the bezel is slightly thinner than what we usually expect out of a large tablet, which gives the tablet a unique sort of a look. However, holding it sometimes becomes tricky because our thumb tends to cover the screen while we are holding it, so it needs a little bit of getting used to. Having used the tablet for a few days, this thin bezel isn't much of an issue anymore. So moving on into the quality factor. When it comes to the quality of the image, the display of this tablet is one of the best, if not the best. Samsung refers to OLED technology as Super AMOLED, but if we compare to other display types, this still stands out and has to be seen to be appreciated. The vibrance of the punchy colors, the saturation, the sharpness of the contrast, these are actually noteworthy. So for media consumption, this is fantastic. Furthermore, the default video player comes with a video enhancement. If we toggle this feature off and on, the difference is very much apparent. It enhances the color and the contrast. And speaking of contrast, let me show you this. When it comes to showing a black area, the display does a fantastic job of making a dark black, like proper black. And as you can see, the motion of the fire can be seen beautifully, which all translates to a great movie experience. No doubt the viewing experience of the movie is as good as it can be on a tablet. Now, I've said this before about reviewing other displays as well, that we're watching this video online and this video has been compressed and recompressed again. The true experience of quality of the display can only be assessed if you are standing in front of it, which I highly recommend if you are considering your options. Well, everything cannot be about fun and play, so let me show you something different. So this is Ifti from our Fast Business episodes. We use this tablet for two reasons here. First thing, it's great for framing our shots, and second thing is it helps us keep track of lighting, and it can also control the camera externally. What you see on the side is a USB on-the-go cable connecting the tablet and the camera. And the app is called DSLR Dashboard, and it works a treat. Using a tablet differently to suit our needs is something very common, and the good features enhances our experience, be it for work or play. Speaking of play, our next topic of discussion, as you may have guessed, is sound. Whilst we've been preoccupied talking about the display quality, Samsung actually did not ignore the sound processing unit. Near the start of this video, I said that the provided earbuds are decent and will do the job, but if you have something better, plug it in. You will enjoy. When it comes to enjoying media experience, sound plays a huge role. Yet assessing quality of sound is not a straightforward process. I played a wide range of music, sound effect files, movies, and same things using this Asus Sonar DX sound card. And as expected, the tablet wouldn't match up to a dedicated sound card, but it is amazing how close it came. The difference is that the sound card is obviously better at eliminating noise, but the tablet was smidge a bit louder. Now, I personally do not recommend you listen to your music too loudly because in the long run it may damage your ear. But the point I'm trying to make is that they have done a fairly decent job of putting a good sound processor in the tablet. And with a decent headphone, you will reap the benefit of it. The onboard speakers are stereo and is reasonably loud and clear, but nothing too exciting, nothing too extraordinary. Also, when we pick up the tablet, our finger tends to naturally go towards the speaker grill, hence covering the speaker where the sound gets muffled. Moving on to the next topic, let's talk about the camera. The Tab S carries a 8 megapixel rear camera and the front one is 2.1 megapixels. The front-facing camera is, as you'd expect, business as usual. You can use it for video calling and so forth without any problems. And the rear-facing camera is decent, and the hardware does just good enough job of it being acceptable. So what does that mean? Well, for day-to-day usage, various apps require access to your camera to take photos of various things, and the hardware is good enough and it captures a fair amount of details to do the job. This may also include your day-to-day photos. However, if you have a better camera, you might want to use that instead. And I'll explain why when we look at some videos. Full HD video at 30 frames per second is a standard these days, and the Tab S does that just fine. But as we can see over here, if the camera had optical image stabilization, then the video would have been much more smoother. It picks up colors quite nicely. However, it seems like the contrast is a little bit low. Tad sharper would have been nicer. For a camera on a tablet, we really can't be that picky. Remember when I said if you want better, use your dedicated camera? Let me show you some examples. Here's a video of a tree with some flower. The depth of field is fairly deep. Decent video, nothing wrong with it. You can share it with your friends and family. They'll understand what's going on. With a dedicated camera, in this case a DSLR on a tripod, this is the kind of result we can expect. Now obviously this comparison is an overkill. No one can expect that a camera on a tablet, whatever the tablet may be, will keep up with a proper DSLR. But here's an opportunity for me to show how much of a difference it is we are talking about. In this last section, we shall look at various different aspects of the tablet and we shall form an opinion based on that. The unit that I'm reviewing weighs 466 grams, which is tad a bit on the heavier side considering the fact that to watch movies we have to hold it for about an hour, hour and a half, which can be a little bit tiresome. With regards to performance, it is a fairly decent performer. Not perhaps the fastest out there, but then again, this is not a performance championship gold medal or something that it needs to win. Let's try and explore that thought just a little bit more. The Tab S is powered by Samsung's own Exynos 5420 octa-core CPU. Out of the 8 cores, 4 of them are Cortex A7 clocked at maximum of 1.3 GHz and 4 of them are Cortex A15 clocked at maximum of 1.9 GHz. Alongside these, there is the Mali T628 GPU for all your graphics processing. Now, depending on the load, one or the other set of cores will be used. This is called clustered switching, where either A7 or A15 cores will be used, not any of the mix or all together. To explain the architecture of the CPU, it will take another video, but in short, let me put it this way. The Exynos 5420 is still a top-tier CPU. As always is the case, next month something's gonna come out that'll be faster, superior and better and all that sort of stuff. As far as performance of this CPU goes, it qualifies itself in the top group. It is top of the line performance, if not the fastest, at least in the top group. Just a quick side note, this chart was put together as an example only. Synthetic benchmarks are reasonable enough. However, let's look at something that has more to do with a real life scenario. So here I've chosen to do something that we can replicate with our systems as well. I've opened up of all the websites eBay and set to show 200 records per page and opened up few search pages so the memory would be loaded a little bit. So as you can see, we can scroll in these long pages quite easily and swap between the tabs. There's no lag in terms of loading times and things like that. This is also a demonstration of the benefit of having 3 gigs of RAM on board. So having loaded the memory as much, if we wanted to do a bit more searching or look into more pages, just adding another tab and doing our search, and that seems to work quite smoothly. I still haven't seen that sort of a lag or resistance that the system is busy or something like that. It's actually fairly decent with keeping up with load. The battery life is reasonable and very much dependent on how bright the screen is. So indoors or at night, when we tend to lower the brightness of the screen, the battery tends to last quite a bit longer. So in this graph, the 3 drops that you can see are 3 movies that I saw in 3 days. Yet we still have 27% left. I'd imagine we can squeeze in another movie. One thing to point out quickly is that via USB cable, the tablet does not want to charge. So we have to use the wall chargers to charge up the tablet. So let's sum things up. Let's begin with the positives. The included accessories are quite reasonable. The fit and finish of the tablet is very premium. The screen is fantastic. The sound processor contained in the tablet is very decent. And in real life, the performance is quite acceptable. With regards to negative, there isn't any as such. The tablet is reasonably good all-rounder. There isn't any deal breaker per se. So to list a few things that is just okay would be battery life is okay, included speakers are okay, camera is okay, and finally the tablet is a little bit on the heavy side but still not far enough to qualify as a deal breaker. As the closing words of this video, I'd like to mention the fantastic screen. That's the emphasis of this entire video. So what we have here is a good all-rounder tablet that features one of the best screens that you can have on a tablet, making it nicely suitable for media consumption. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. What you liked or disliked about this video, please leave a note on the comment section below, and please do also remember to subscribe. Currently, we are also in Patreon. Your contributions will go directly to producing more videos such as this. So I'll see you next time. Bye for now.